Hi, my name is Jeff Hastings. I'm a project manager for Trout Unlimited, working in the Driftless area. This fish habitat partnership has been around for about 15 years now. Prior to working for Trout Unlimited, I was a county conservationist working for local county field offices in the Driftless. The Driftless area is located in the Midwest. Here, depicted in orange, was one of the first of four partnerships under the National Fish Habitat Action Program. If you're not familiar with the word driftless gets its name from when a glacier recedes, it leaves behind rock, gravel, and silt, referred to as drift. Since this area was bypassed by the last continental glacier, it's referred to as driftless. We have a number of priority habitats in the driftless, both cold, cool, and warm water, but we tend to focus on our karst topography, which is so prevalent throughout the driftless, and our cold water streams. We've identified a number of priority fish here in the driftless, but the most opportunity to work with our partners are on cold water species such as the brook trout and brown trout. The driftless area is really quite unique. It's home to more than 4,500 cold water streams, more than 600 spring-fed streams. We've utilized our National Fish Habitat Action Program dollars for a number of non-habitat projects in the past. Some of them are genetic studies in Northeast Iowa, karst studies in Northwest Illinois, and we've created a number of brochures. One of our most popular brochures is the economic study we did back in 2016 that showed that there's a $1.6 billion annual economic input to the local economy from cold water angling. This is a picture of a cold water restoration project recently completed and shows some of the typical things that we install when we do a project. Overhead cover for adult trout, stabilizing the banks, plunge pools, and habitat for non-game species such as frogs, turtles, and snakes. To better understand what we are trying to accomplish with our cold water restoration projects in the driftless, you need a little bit of history about our post-settlement farming in the driftless area. These ridge tops were farmed quite intensively. They lacked conservation practices, lacked rotation, and led to quite a bit of compaction, eventually leading to a widespread erosion. What we saw was that there was so much erosion occurring that these valley floors were filling up with sediment. So pre-settlement, in this upper diagram here, you see a narrow, deep stream, probably filled with brook trout. And then post-settlement, you see the cultural sediment layer that was deposited on the valley floor. Now we've got vertical eroding banks, we've got shallow, wide streams. So today when you drive around the driftless area and you see these unimproved projects, you see these vertical banks. Where the topsoil was that yellow line there, probably was only 2 feet off the top of the water. This is a picture of a project we just had started. We've removed the shallow rooted trees and are just about ready to start shaping the banks. So this is a picture post-project. You can see we've pulled back the banks and stabilized the banks. So they're great water quality improvements, literally saving thousands of tons of soil from entering the streams each year. And because phosphorus is tied to soil, it's also a great phosphorus reduction project. We've seen a great response from the fisheries. If we were having 300 fish per mile, we can see almost as much as a 10-fold increase and expect to see somewhere in the near future 3,000 fish per mile. Again, we've increased the angling opportunities and helped the local economy. And finally, because the driftless area is a unique area for non-game species, we try to address any non-game species in the riparian corridor as part of our projects. We use a number of funding sources for our projects throughout the driftless. In Minnesota, our primary funding source for projects is the Lessard-Sams Outdoor Heritage Sales Tax Program. To date, we've raised over $20 million through this program and improved over 70 miles of stream. Wisconsin, Iowa, and Illinois, Farm Bill dollars are one of our primary funding sources of every project we do. We've been very successful over the past 15 years and have proposals in for over $15 million in Farm Bill dollars that we've used on our projects. There were a number of organizations that were doing cold water restoration projects before the driftless area restoration effort even started. Our state Department of Natural Resources, fish habitat crews, we have county field offices, we have over 13 Trout Unlimited chapters that were doing projects in the driftless area, and a number of conservation organizations and landowners. However, they were using limited funds that they had raised either through trout stamp or annual banquets and things like that. And what we try to do is to show them how they can take the dollars they have and piggyback it with Farm Bill dollars to do bigger and better projects. One of the workshops that we've conducted since the very beginning of the project is our annual project planning workshop. Here we bring in various organizations that are doing cold water restoration projects in the Driftless and show them by partnering and using federal Farm Bill dollars they can do bigger and better projects. One of our most recent partners is the Steel Manufacturing Company. They are going to give $1,500 annually for the next 4 years to a chapter to conduct their annual work days. We use a wide variety of both county, state, and federal, and even foundation dollars to both do projects and to run our program here in the Driftless. One of the other things that we try to do on an annual basis is when we're working in a county on a stream restoration project, we invite the local county field offices and landowners out to see an active ongoing stream restoration project so they have a better understanding what's involved with restoring a stream. And finally, we have 2 annual events that we try to do each year. One is our fall bus tour, where we tour recently completed projects somewhere in the Driftless area. We pack a 55-passenger bus and tour these 3 projects. And then we also like our annual Driftless Symposium, where we bring in over 160 conservationists from the 4 state areas to talk about the latest in research and project management of our riparian cold water streams. That's all I have for you today. Thanks for joining me when talking about the Driftless Area restoration effort.